Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast All-Star Infield for 2000 Y2K. Why indeed? Because you can see the infield is a little crowded. We've got quite the conundrum at shortstop. Every Sunday morning, Chris and I open up a bunch of packs of cards at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Mountain. And we try to come up with an all-star team from the packs of cards. This was a 2000 opening day Topps set. And we came up with these people: McGwire, Biggio, Chipper Jones, A-Rod, and Jeter. Came up with those guys. Now, Jeter's never been on an all-star team. A-Rod's been on some of these. We've had A-Rod on some of these teams. Biggio, this is like his third or fourth, because second baseman, it's an abysmal position to find really good players that were better than Biggio. I mean, you could put Ryan Sandberg if we were doing like maybe the 80s into the early 90s, maybe Roberto Alomar, but for the most part, Biggio's just like the best second baseman of the era. I mean, give me another one. Give me another second baseman that was better than Biggio in that span of the late 80s into the early 2000s. I have a hard time thinking of them. Help me out, because we're not picking the cards of the guys. So, all of these guys, except for I think Chipper Jones and Jeter, have been on all-star teams of ours. Chipper, I think this is his first one. And McGwire, I think, has been on a couple of these. And Biggio, we've talked about him a million times, so I'm not really going to go too much into what Biggio's done. I'll give you a couple of stats you might not know. He had 668 doubles in his career and 55 triples. So there you go. Other than all the other numbers I've given you 100 times when we talk about Biggio. Mark McGwire, just a good hitting first baseman. So, he was okay. I think he got one Gold Glove. So, the big man, probably early in his career, but he got one of those. He only had 583 career home runs, which is odd. He only had a 263 career batting average, but he was a two-time World Series champion in 89 and 2011. So, one with the A's, one with the Cardinals. He played 16 seasons in the MLB. It's kind of shocking that he got nowhere close to that. I thought maybe he'd get closer to that 650 mark, but he never did. He had 70 home runs in 1998 when him and Sosa were both basically bringing baseball back from the dead, because, the strike had happened a year or two earlier, or 3 years earlier. We were all pissed off at baseball players and owners, and attendance and all that stuff was starting to wane a little bit, and interest was, and then they saved baseball. Him and Sosa saved baseball. So I'll give Mark McGwire all the credit in the world, him and Sammy Sosa. If they wouldn't have had their home run chase in 98, it might have taken baseball longer to recover. I think it would have. It's America's pastime. I think it would have, and I don't think we'll ever get rid of baseball as one of our big three or four. I think it'll always kind of stay in the big three. I don't think anybody would ever catch it unless soccer really catches fire. That MLS is really going to have to start, putting up some major numbers here. Then we have Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones, I think this is his first one of these. He had a 303 career batting average, 2,736 career hits, 468 career home runs. He was an 8-time All-Star. He was the MVP in 1999. And he actually, when he was voted into the Hall of Fame, he got 97% of the vote. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for, to get 97% of the vote, because I just don't think they ever do unanimous. I think somebody always votes against a player just so it's never unanimous. I'm trying to think if it's ever been unanimous, even though there are definitely players that are deserving of it. Like Ken Griffey Jr. If you can't agree that Ken Griffey Jr. is a unanimous decision, I don't know. I don't know what you want out of, even Albert Pujols, guys like that. If you can't make that unanimous, I don't know what the criteria is then for being a Hall of Famer. But this now brings us to our immediate problem. Now, we don't have a DH. So I figure one of these two guys can be the DH. Now, A-Rod's numbers are amazing. Now, I don't care about steroids. I really don't. So don't at me on that. I mean, you can if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead and complain about steroids. I really don't care. So it's like, with this, I would probably say that it's like he had 696 career home runs. He didn't quite make it to that 700. 295 career batting average, over 3,000 hits, two-time Gold Glover, and he was a three-time MVP in the AL. That's one heck of a player, regardless. I mean, you know, being super strong doesn't mean you're super talented at a position. There are lots of strong guys that aren't good at sports. He was amazing at baseball. Then you have a guy like Jeter. He had, 310 career batting average. That's okay. But he was caught stealing 97 times. 97 times. He didn't even steal that many bases, but 97 times he ran himself out of an inning or made a mistake by saying, "Oh, I'm fast enough to make it there." No, you're not. He had 1,840 strikeouts. Whoa. It's like, dude, come on. Maybe be a little bit more patient at the plate. Let's not be so much of a free swinger here. So, that's not good. He was hit by pitches 170 times. That means pitchers didn't like him very much. They just aimed for him. It's like, you know what? We're going to give you a little bit of a, I don't want you to look completely silly up there. So I'm going to throw it at you, bean you, and put you on first base. Because I know if you try to steal, you're just going to get caught. Easy out. He had 39 intentional walks. 39 intentional walks in 21 years. You know what that means? Nobody's afraid of you. So it's like, and at shortstop, he had 254 errors. 254. Holy smokes. I know there are people out there that say Hall of Famer, but come on now. So it's like, we need a DH, we need a shortstop. And I think it's pretty easy to tell which one of these guys we would rather, be in the field. And the other guy is going to be our designated hitter. He'll probably bat like ninth or something like that. But yeah, I'd put A-Rod in the field, obvious choice. And Jeter, I'll bat you ninth as my DH there. You're technically an all-star. And that's all-star for now.